Man, the Series S is not in a good state at this time. Let's have a little talk about what's going on there. Welcome to another Major Ben gaming video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. Now, recently there's been some very interesting stuff going on circling around the developer Larian, who make the Baldur's Gate games. Obviously, we were talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Now, as Sony's State of Play, we had an announcement for Baldur's Gate 3. It's obviously coming to PC and it's coming to PlayStation as well, but there was nothing spoken of the Xbox release. Normally, even at a Sony State of Play, at the end when they show the image on screen, it will say coming to whatever, Switch, Xbox, whatever. Obviously not Switch. But the reason there's no Xbox release is because they're actually struggling to get this game, the co-op at least, to work on the Xbox Series S. And this poses a huge question of where we're going to be at going forward with this system. So let's have a talk about what has actually been said by Baldur's Gate developer Larian and go from there. So we've had an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 in development for some time now, a statement from Larian says. We've run into some technical issues in developing the Xbox port that have stopped us feeling 100% confident in announcing it until we're certain we've found the right solutions. Specifically, we've been unable to get split-screen co-op to work to the same standard on both Xbox Series X and S, which is a requirement for us to ship. Now, what they're talking about is Microsoft has a very specialist set of requirements, much like Sony and Nintendo do, for when you want to bring a game to their platform. Now, this requirement in this case that they're talking about is the fact that both versions of the game, the Series X and the Series S game, must run identically in terms of what content is in that game. Now, obviously, you're allowed to have graphical downgrades on the Series S version and frame rate downgrades on the Series S version, but Microsoft has said that if you have co-op in Xbox Series X version, this must also work across the board to Series S owners. Now, this poses a problem, as evident and is happening currently, to the developers who want to bring their games to the Microsoft platforms. Now, the Series S is a fantastic console. It's something that is very much needed. A budget console out there right now with all the many different issues going on in the world with financials and people's financial states. This is something that's very, very good news that we've got a Series S out there. But multiple developers have now spoken out on the Series S and its power, and the gap between that and the Series X. It's just not good enough. It's not able to do things that developers are wanting to do. And we've obviously had a load of fanboys talk about how the Series S is underpowered. It's not. It is a powerful system, but obviously there are certain things it's not going to be able to do that its big brothers can do. And you have all the Xbox fanboys on the other hand talking about how PC is the lowest common denominator. Well, yeah, it is, but it's also not. They can bump the PC specs up. They can change whatever PC specs it says for the game. If you look at every PC game, the minimum spec is not the same. It's absolutely not. So they could just bump that up and say, that it needs to be slightly higher. But for Series S, obviously, Microsoft aren't budging currently. We haven't heard back from what Microsoft has said, but this poses a threat to the future. What are we going to do? Now, at the moment, we're not even getting a Series X version of this game. There is no release date in sight for a Series X version. So at this time, because of the Series S, we are not getting an Xbox Series X version. That is very concerning. Like the fact that we're actually, the all Xbox users who've purchased a Series X, the more powerful system that can actually run this game, they're not going to be able to get this game. And it poses a question, well, okay, so why don't we just stop the co-op being on the Series S and just remove that part of the game? Well, then you're going to have other developers from other, companies saying, well, we're already struggling with the design of this game on Series S. Are we okay to just miss out that feature? It enables a whole floodgate of options for then developers going in saying, going to Microsoft saying, can we not put this on the Series S? Can we just not release the game on Series S? Can we just, remove this whole part of the game on Series S because we can't get it to run the way we want on the Series, on the Series S compared to the X? So this is just highly concerning in my opinion, and something that Microsoft should have thought about. Like, yeah, okay, releasing a less powerful console, great for people with, especially with Game Pass, it is such a good value to gaming. But you are already encountering problems and you're impacting your Series X audience from potentially not even having a game. And what we have to ask ourselves as users, which is a very obvious question, are we happy for Series S users to not have co-op? And we would all say yes, obviously. Series S users probably would as well, because they can at least get the campaign for this game. Otherwise, they're just going to miss out on a whole game entirely. But I just think it opens a very, very large amount of problems for other developers who want to, you know, do what they've done. Now, I think PlayStation's solution to the budget is so much better. Just having a console with no disc drive for £100 in the UK. I can't remember the prices off the top of my head. I'm just going to look while I stall. PlayStation 5 price for the UK, because I'm just curious, because I can't remember what it is. Yeah, so 449 for the God of War, with God of War for the digital edition, and 529. So it's not 100 less anymore, but it wasn't launched. I think it was 500 and 400, wasn't it? But you can get a digital console on its own for £389. Like, I know it's a significant jump up from the Series S price, but still, like, I just think it was a better route that PlayStation took. Like, you've got one platform to develop for, and they just removed the disc drive. So, I don't know, like, I just think that was the better route, and we're seeing an impact now on Microsoft's platform. Maybe this is why games aren't running as well. We're seeing a lot of Digital Foundry tech reviews at the moment going PlayStation's way. The less powerful system is performing better on most cases at the moment than the Xbox. So is this something that is a result of the fact that they have two systems to develop for on the Xbox side? Is that what's going on here? I'm not sure, but disappointing, very, very sad to see. I don't know what's going to happen with this Baldur's Gate. Obviously, if I hear anything, I will let you guys know. I'm sorry my lighting's really bad. Like, I normally have better lighting than this. There we go. That's a little bit darker, though. I don't know what's going on. I have to sort my camera out. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think this is disappointing for, obviously, any Xbox user who's potentially, we're not going to have a release on Xbox consoles for this game now. And obviously, from a PlayStation point of view, you can carry on. You've actually got your own exclusive game in a way. So if you want to play this on console right now and you want to pre-order this game and you're really excited about it, I recommend, obviously, PS5 is the way to go here, obviously, because there's not even an Xbox release right now. Now, they have said they are working on this. They're going to keep trying. Now, I'm interested to see what this game, I mean, I'm going to play it on PlayStation anyway, but I'm very interested to see what this game looks like, because I feel like to have something that's like this kind of game, I don't know why it can't run on the Series S. Like, the Series S is a beast. It's got 8 cores, and I can't remember the threads, but it's 8 cores of Zen 2. Like, what is actually up with this game? And you know, we've got games like A Plague's Tale, Requiem running. I know this is a different game with obviously a co-op aspect, but I'm really curious. And obviously going forward, let's say It Takes Two. They decide to do a second game of It Takes Two. Can they just not release that across Xbox if it's really, really demanding? I don't know. I'm just really curious to see what happens there. Down to the developers at the end of the day. If they don't want to release it on Xbox, they just want to release it on PlayStation. But will we get games that don't come to Xbox because of the Series S going forward? Or will Microsoft decide to budge on their very tough requirements from, you know, having games being identical on both, having the exact same features? I don't know. Interesting to see. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching. See you in future videos. Bye-bye for now.